G'day mates, look, she's my beloved leaderboard. Yeah, the fuel economy data of my precious fleet of nuggets, and some cars that I've borrowed. Fuel economy is definitely a part of performance and efficiency, but there is a problem with this, which is that it's terrible.
So what made the issue with how I was doing it before was that it's combined. We've got the highway stuff and the city stuff as one number, and we've been robbed of that precious data. Oh wait, no, the fuel's on. Ooh. Oh, that's good. Sure, one car used less fuel than another, but where did it make it up?
Which is why it's being completely overhauled. Yeah, mate, 3 categories. That's 2 more than last time. This has been in development for months. It's different routes now, totally different laps, totally different fill-up locations, multiple fill-up locations. An issue I was having with the old way is that if there was massive traffic or if there was like massive roadworks, now all of a sudden the road's closed, I gotta bin that attempt. And you know, with the old way, it could take like an hour and a half to have another go. Now, they're 2 individual little laps, right? And then we can add them together for like the grand champion score. We could have a different winner for each of these, or someone who takes all 3 to become the grand champion. And these routes I've devised are brutal. This city route, you don't go faster than 50 k's an hour, constantly stopping and starting. Like the highway section, I'm making a trip all the way out to find a 110 km/h zone. Yeah, proper highway speeds. We gotta really stress those nuggets out. Brutal city, brutal highway. Let's start with the city. Naturally, mate, we start with the car, the Corolla. This is such a cromulent baseline of what a regular car is. And on the new city route, 12.5, right? This is a much bigger number. And look, I've put the moans per gallon there because you keep moaning about it. Me V6 VF Ute, mate, Bruce 2, 3.6 litres, 14.55. That's quite a bit extra. I mean, that's moving a big car for you. I mean, if you want to use more fuel, mate, get a big old V8 like the one that lives in my CLS. 5.5 litre V8 land boat. Yeah. 15.23. Ooh. My mum's Suzuki Baleno, mum's Nugget, 10.45. That's an economy nug for you. That's a lot. Like, that's already, like, the Corolla was an economy nug. We knew this. Current champion. My beloved donkey van, which needs that rebuild desperately. 16.82. Oh, out of a 4-banger. More fuel than a 5.5 litre V8. Oh, and speaking of a V8, you know, beloved 5 litre Jeffy, 18.07. Wow! 5 litre V8 Jeff without an interior, mind you. I thought the CLS was gonna do worse. My goodness. Jeffy! I mean, there's not a lot in it. And the donkey van literally has less than half of the engine, so it is ultimate shame to the donkey van. Oh, and Tony Kowalski, who rightfully lost its place on the leaderboard up the top. But this is a new route with controlled traffic conditions, so it's actually a much closer benchmark. Oh, 10.23's won again! Tony! Piece of crap! I can't stand Tony winning things! Oh, redoing this was the worst thing ever. On a frickin' recount, he won. Tony's still in the lead. Tiny engines use the least amount of fuel. But what about the highway? What about 110 km/h zones? As long as Tony doesn't win this, he can't be the grand champion. Always got to start with the Corolla, mate. The car, 6.14. I mean, it's half the fuel as the city driving. 3.6 litre V6 Bruce 2, 7.1. That's not that much in it. 5 litre Jeffy, 7.89. Again, I mean, it's only a little in it, really. The 5.5 litre CLS, also 7.11. The same as a 3.6 litre V6. You know, you go down one. The bigger engine gets it. If there's ever a tie, that's it. Wow! Hey, that's an extra gear and like a more slim looking body for you, and just a better engine. I mean, GM V6s, I'm not a fan. Donkey van. Oh, gee. Yeah, almost 10, 9.43. That guy needs that rebuild. And Mum's Nug, 6.58? It's more than the Corolla. Oh, upset! What? I mean, honestly, the Corolla sits on the road better. Just being a little sedan, it's lower, the roof line's lower. There you go. It adds up. I mean, a slightly bigger engine as well. It's just a little bit more useful. I mean, Mum's Nug's way safer and got more tech in and whatnot, but more interesting. And something I've noticed already, like with the city driving, the little 4 cylinders, they are absolutely worth it. Like, you start using a lot more fuel the bigger these engines get. But if you never drive in the city, I mean, when I was growing up, it was all country highways and whatnot. There's not a lot in it. Like, I would rather drive my 5.5 litre V8 land boat than Mum's Nugget. And honestly, it's like half a litre in it per 100 kilometers. I mean, looking at the hill, like how few RPM, like how lazy can an engine be while revving? Look how lazy the CLS can be at highway speeds. And then you get down to Mum's Nug, which isn't terrible. But yeah, once you start getting to like the Corolla, you're putting a lot of work in. But Tony, like Tony's max speed is 110. To get this data was genuinely flat out the whole time, right? That is not economical. That is not a good way to drive a car, right? How did Tony do? He can't win. If he wins, he's unconditional champion. Tony did 5 points for no! Damn it! Tony wins! I hate this! Everyone clink your glasses and smile in the direction of the stage to congratulate Tony on being the undisputed champion of the frickin' leaderboard. Second place is Mum's Nug, and in third is the car. And there's the rest of the board all filled in. Fourth was Bruce 2, then the CLS, then Jeffy, and of course, the donkey van. I love how Jeff and the donkey van are trading blows down at the bottom here. In the city, Jeff's worse. On the highway, would you imagine a big brick van looking idiot would be worse? Absolutely despicable donkey, mate. Half the engine and you use like noticeably more fuel. If you're wondering where the free car is, it was disqualified for leaking fuel everywhere. A new leak that only revealed itself when the tank was full. James's Morris will get on the leaderboard after I've taken it for a drive for a video and blow up the gearbox getting it on the highway. So yeah, these numbers are way higher than like the previous one because it was a more brutal test. More brutal city driving and more brutal highway driving, actually getting up to like the proper speeds. It adds to the more data and more data. As I'm gonna start driving a lot of cars. Friends have got a lot of really cool cars they want me to borrow for the data. This is all fully populated out and ready to go. And I'm so sorry that Tony won. That is devastating that he swept through and reclaimed the crown 3 times. Undisputed champion. I'm so mad.